We're live. Jay's late as usual. Mike's here. What's up, Dirk Gaming here? David Apuza says, Happy Leap Day. I wonder how many babies were born today that now have a birthday and lever. Was it every 3 years? 4
Every
years?
4 years, yeah.
4 years.
So you could be 40 years old and only be 10.
Interesting for sure. I was literally just helping Jay set up his OBS because he wants to live stream some more now. So he was like, how do I have my camera and do this? So I was like, all right, make sure you do this. And he's like, all right, let me get set up so I can essentially get on here. And he's not here yet. But we'll start the episode once we get him in. We'll be talking about 90s forgotten movies, so to say.
All right. Got my top 5 list. I'm ready to go.
Just waiting on the J.
Russ, have you tried this yet?
Coca-Cola spiced? No.
Yeah. It's not good.
I was gonna say the only thing I could would it be like a Dr. Pepper? I feel like Dr. Pepper has like a spice to it.
That's right. That's what I thought it was gonna be, but it's actually just kind of like it's just raspberry flavored. It reminds me. I think this was one of their like test flavors, like their Dream or Cloud or something.
Right.
It just kind of tastes like. Remember Pepsi Blue from back in the day?
Pepsi Blue. I don't think I remember that one. No.
Oh, the next snacky snack time, Russ.
Yeah. So the people always want me drinking these drinks.
It's just like bad Pepsi Blue. And I'm more of a Coke guy than a Pepsi guy. I don't like Pepsi
Blue.
I remember Pepsi Blue being okay in small doses.
Yeah.
But this is like, it's good enough to get through.
But you wouldn't buy it again.
Oh, no. I'm glad I didn't go for like the 12 pack because I couldn't find the smaller bottles for a while. I was just like, I'll go for this.
Yeah. If you fully commit to the 12 pack, you're like, come on.
Mm.
Oh, Jay says, let me know when you send the invite. I did 2 days ago. It's the old one. Sent on Wednesday. Or it might have even been Tuesday.
I think it was Tuesday. It was a while ago.
Because I was prepping. We got Durkin in here. I say Bloody Bones says, what's up? Bulbasaur's here. Yeah, this is the first time I figured we'd try this. I don't know how. So maybe we'll live stream every week, but then I'll still post the episode Saturday at 7 a.m. So I don't know. Our views will probably drop on that because most people, right, are going to watch it Wednesday live on the live. So who knows? I don't know. But I figured this would be fun because you can hang out. We technically didn't start yet, David, so I didn't really introduce, but this is Michael Butler from Forgotten Cinema Podcast. Wait, do you get a name thing? Let's see. Because, yeah, usually... Oh, did I not put the names? Hold on.
Yeah, you can set that up.
Yeah, where is it? Bubbles. Yeah. Oh, just here we go. Show display names. There we go. I must have turned it off for some reason. Yeah, Mike's been with Forgotten Cinema for... How long did you guys do the podcast for?
5 years, and then we're coming back in May. So we took a bit of a break, a little hiatus, although we came back for Halloween and did our Halloween specials.
Nice.
And then, we're coming back big time in May on our Patreon. We just started a Patreon to kind of like warm up and start putting out some episodes. So we have Patreon exclusive episodes, and we're going to start doing non-forgotten films. We're going to start doing new release films as well.
Oh, okay.
Put those up, and those will be for everybody.
I just noticed it's funny with how I have my camera mounted. It's so close to my laptop, so I had it like slightly like this.
I kind of liked it. I thought you were doing that on purpose.
And you could see
a side view.
you can see my laptop like on there, so I was like, I gotta move the lens a little bit. Oh, does that work? Yeah, whatever. Good enough. Jay should be signing up pretty soon here. Let me see if I deleted it. Oh God. Let me just send a new one just in case. NES Addict. Send. All right, sent a new one. Wouldn't be a weekly warp pipe without technical difficulties. Sent a new one. Dave says, I would say go live maybe one a month or so. Warp Pipe on Saturday and then do podcasts on Wednesday. So we're gonna record both tonight, because that's how we always do it. Record back to back. So we're gonna do our episode with Mike, then he'll sign off, and then we'll do our Warp Pipe Wednesday. And then I'm gonna physically edit those and drop them into the Final Cut, and then upload them on Saturday and Wednesday as well. So you can either pop in, I guess, Wednesday, see the full live stream, or tune back in for the edited version. Not much is done in editing now because of how we do the podcast. All I'm really dropping in is the intro and outro, which we have on here, but I just like the carryover of the music, and I tweak the audio a little bit. I put a little filter over the audio too. What's up, Adam? Welcome. When the live didn't happen yesterday, I for sure thought Jay was having computer issues. Yeah, I was under the weather, unfortunately. I was sick. So we had to call it. I was just sleeping all day. There's Jay. Hello. Hang on. Well, yeah, I have my intro, Dave, so I know when to cut all this. I just forgot I'd go live so you guys can chat with us instead of just waiting for the live, so you guys know we are, in fact, doing the episode. Mike says for sure once a month. So yeah, maybe we'll do it once a month. I don't know. We were discussing. Can you hear us, Jay, yet or no? No, he's charging his earpods. I do like your background lighting, Mike. Kind of fits with our purplish theme.
Right. I can change it up depending on what we're doing. I've got on the other side of me over here, I can't get the camera angle to actually look good, but I have a giant Yoda lamp. So I like to light him up green, and then it mixes with the the purple. It looks actually kind of cool, but I just have him purple right now because he's not really seen, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. But
stupid phones.
He's there in the background.
Just trying to use my AirPods. Hang on one second. I'll just plug in because I can't find.
Well, I can hear you now. I couldn't hear you before.
Showing up. Is my Bluetooth off? Is that what this is?
If you guys want to support the podcast and help Jay get a computer, or be sure to sign up over on Patreon. do.
I'm back. I had to relearn how to do that.
There we go.
All right.
Jay's good. We're all rolling. Right microphone selected. Everyone check, right?
Let me
audio.
Double check. Do I sound okay?
Yeah.
Never hurts to double check. Yeti. Okay, we're good.
Perfect.
Yeti and AirPods.
All right, let's see. All right, I'll drop Mike out, and then we'll do an introduction. Introduction. All right, now we're gonna do the podcast.
All right,
there we go.
The Weekly Warp Pipe.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Weekly Warp Pipe. We're doing a live broadcast of the show, so thank you, everyone, for being here. We're seeing if this is, maybe we're going to do it once a month. I don't know. We're kind of playing with something new, so we're going to have a lot of viewer interaction if you guys are here. If not, we're going to be posting the episodes as regular on Saturday and Wednesday at 7 a.m. for your viewing or hearing preference. What's up, Jay?
I'm actually, as we speak, I'm trying to get on YouTube to see like who's here.
Oh, you can't view, maybe because I'm the host, I can view all the comments on my end.
Yeah, I don't see any of those unless I go to, maybe I'm on private chat. Let me switch to comments.
Yeah, comments. Yeah, you'll be able to see the people.
Oh, there we go. Look at everybody. Waves and Games, Bloody Bones, David Apuzzo, JLove81, and the Dirk Gaming is the people that I'm seeing currently. Mike Nario. Sorry if I butchered your name, Mike. I can't read. And for myself.
I'll say, speaking of mics, we do have a special guest on the episode tonight. We got my buddy Mike Butler.
How's it going?
Welcome, Mike.
He's on a podcast called the Forgotten Cinema Podcast. They were, would you say, about 5 years you guys did the podcast?
5 years. Yeah, we just last summer, I think, is when we wrapped it up for a little while. We came back, right before May. We get like a full 5 years, dropped off for the summer, came back to do our Forgotten Horror sequence, which is basically the entire month of October. We do horror films. We came back, we put it on YouTube as well. So originally we were just an audio podcast. We do fun commercials, and little ads and spoofs on the movies that we do. We have over 200 episodes already in the can that we've already done. And we're coming back May 1st after taking our little sabbatical, and we're coming back in a big way. We've got our full series coming up. We're going to cover not just Forgotten Film, so I should say Forgotten Cinema is a podcast that covers forgotten films that seem to be forgotten by audiences, whether they be forgotten because of time or audiences kind of dropped off in interest in them. We talk about those movies, what goes into making them, facts about the movies, and what we thought about them. And so we did that for a bunch of episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Coming back, we're going to do live episodes. We're going to do new movie releases as well, alongside of our regular seasons of forgotten films. And we just started our Patreon as well, where we're going to start doing things like our first episode just dropped today, actually, for Forgotten Lead Up, where we lead up to a series like we're doing Ghostbusters
Nice.
2, Answer the Call, and Afterlife, leading up to our full review of Frozen Empire when that comes out later this month.
Man, I can't wait.
We got a whole bunch of stuff in the can.
Yeah, David Apuzzo messaged me. He already got tickets for it. He's like, I got some extra ones. You want to come? If I can find a babysitter. Now, me and Mike used to work together for many years at a movie theater.
Yeah.
So it was pretty fun hanging out there, chatting movies. So he has that background of enjoying movies. We were assistant managers together. So oftentimes we'd be at the box office just shooting the breeze about movies.
I feel like that's a job that I should have done in my life, and I totally didn't.
It worked at the movies.
It's okay if you didn't.
The perks are,
it's got perks.
It would have been fun.
It's not all sunshine and roses.
You do get cool movie posters.
Like this.
What'd you get?
I can't.
You can't pan. Don't mess up your camera, Jay.
Hang on. That's true.
Oh, nice. The Home Alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten tons of movie posters and banners. I have like what does it have to be? 4 feet by like 16 feet. The Pacific Rim banner that we had in the lobby.
All the old lobby banners that are gigantic.
Yeah, I'm like, one day I'm going to have someplace big enough to put this up.
I've got a couple of them rolled up. I put them in my parents' house, and I can't figure out what to do with them.
The only two I have is Home Alone, and I got Dude, Where's My Car?
Oh, nice.
I have so many that I can't open my trunk of my car. I just used to take the ones that I liked home.
Yeah.
And now I've just got, if you open the trunk of my car to put like groceries, you're going to find it impossible. Like, can't even get to the spare tire. It's just poster tubes, just hundreds of posters.
Wow. Just still in your car, huh?
There's no other place to put them at the moment. So
fair enough.
They're protected in the cardboard. They're dry. It's a good place for them.
Fair enough.
Somebody wrote shitty. That's awesome.
So I wanted to bring Mike onto the podcast because he's part of the Forgotten Cinema podcast, and we're talking about forgotten movies. So I thought it'd be good to have a guest on here. We weren't sure if we were going to do 80s or 90s, but we stuck with 90s. So I think we wrote down 5 movies that we thought perhaps were forgotten, and we'll discuss them a little bit. And we'll head over to our social medias as well later in the episode to see what you guys said. Respect the Wheels talking here says, I'm really banking on this podcast opening up with the limited release of the 93 classic Super Mario Brothers. I will say, though, I don't think that's really forgotten, though. I feel like it's become a cult classic where everyone knows that movie for whether it being bad or bad, so bad it's good, right?
Kind of the criteria that I used is if I forgot about it, it made the list. So I didn't base it on whether I thought a lot of people forgot. I was like,
you
forgot that movie existed. Yeah.
Fair enough. I did want to say, I forgot to bring up, I was on Forgotten Cinema podcast. We did cover the Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh yeah.
So we got to discuss that, and me and Mike got to do a fun commercial where I came out dressed as Scorpion and you had a Raiden outfit on.
Oh, that's awesome.
Party City Raiden.
Wait, can I find that clip on YouTube?
Oh,
You
yeah,
think
it's up
on
there.
your
Yeah, you can get that.
Forgotten Cinema Mortal Kombat, I guess, commercial?
Yeah, it'll pop. It should pop up.
Yes, here we go. 39 seconds. Let's see here. Share the screen. I'll show you guys this classic one here.
I hope there's a get over here.
Where are they?
All right, I am ready.
What is this?
What is this? I'm ready for the Mortal Kombat episode.
You realize that we're just recording a podcast. We're not doing video. It's just audio. No one's actually going to see you.
All right, let's do this. Russ, looking good.
All right, man.
Woo!
Yeah.
I love the bobbing.
Woo! Round 1. Fight.
That looks so awesome.
That was a good one. So if you guys want to
That
check
was
out
great.
that episode, that was a while ago. I was on there chatting about the movie and the video games. Sweet. All right, so we'll jump into the list. Do we, I guess we'll have Mike go as our guest to start us off, right?
Yeah,
he's-
and can I just say one thing real quick before you start, Mike? If you have any information on any of these movies that I'm going to list that I have forgotten existed, please feel free because I don't know much about them except the little blurb that I snapped on screenshot of. So
I can
Fair
help
enough.
out, maybe.
Yeah. and we'll see. I'm going to see if we have any overlaps. Most times me and Jay do end up having the same choices. So we'll see how that goes.
we'll see.
I'm not sure if I'll have any overlap, but we'll see. All of mine are based on forgotten films we have covered in the past on Forgotten Cinema.
Okay.
Are we going best? Like, are these in any particular order?
I didn't put them in any order. I just listed 5 and
Okay.
random. What's funny enough, 4 out of the 5 movies that I listed are also NES games.
What?
So there's a
That's
little
wild.
there's a little tidbit
4 of
for you.
them?
Yeah,
Like,
4
there's
out of the
NES
5.
games based on them, or they're
2.
actually based on games?
Wait, no, sorry, I got looking back. 3 out of the 5 are NES games, like based on the movie. So the movie came out
Weird.
and they made an
That makes-
NES game.
Okay, I was gonna say I didn't think there were that many movies based on games.
No. So
Double
we'll see.
Dragon, Mortal Kombat, Mario. I can't think any of the '90s movies.
Sweet.
All
All
right,
right, what do you got, Mike?
I guess my first one is probably also my top pick.
Okay.
And that's 1995's Strange Days. This is a movie that I hadn't heard of until we did the podcast. I can't remember why we even did it. I think I brought up a concept and then Field was like, oh, that sounds like this film. And we couldn't find it anywhere at the time. This film is now on HBO Max because, you know, they're desperate. Everyone's thirsty for content. So they actually put all their old movies on there.
Yeah.
But this movie like disappeared, but it was written by James Cameron, directed by Catherine Bigelow. And this was back when they were married. So James Cameron was going to direct this movie, but then I think he was directing, maybe he just came off of Terminator or something. So he didn't want to do it or couldn't do it. So he gave it to Catherine Bigelow, his wife at the time. And she's a big time director as well. And it stars Ray Fiennes, Angela Bassett, Juliette Lewis, Tom Sizemore, Vincent D'Onofrio, William Fichtner. It's got a great cast. And I had never even heard of this movie before. And it's 1999, the far future when this movie comes out, kind of like in Demolition Man. And basically LA is a war zone between, you know, gangs and racial discrimination from police officers. And there's this technology out called a squid. And these squids can record your memories and your dreams and basically play them back on a device. So you can re-experience everything you did before, or buy someone, you want to be president of the United States for a day, buy the president's, you know, memories of him giving the State of the Union address or some stuff like that.
Okay.
Weird.
Yeah, it's really bizarre. And Ray Fiennes is an ex-cop who now deals in like seedy versions of these squid things, and he gives them out to people. And his only thing he doesn't do is if somebody gets killed, he doesn't do those. And they have a special name, I forgot what they call them, but he doesn't basically do snuff tapes. But he'll deal in like sex tapes and you know, action, you know, soldier stuff, all that kind of stuff. and kind of like underground. And he gets given this squid that is a murder of somebody he knows, actually. And at the same time, he's obsessed with this girl who is a prostitute who left him for a drug dealer. It's an incredibly strange movie. And the entire time he's trying to hunt a serial killer. And he ends up kind of stopping this race war or becoming involved in it. It's super bizarre. I'm not going to tell anybody it's the greatest movie ever.
Okay.
It sounds really involved.
It's super complex. Like, I had to look up, and we only watched it like a year and a half ago, look up the summary, because I was just like, I don't remember half the stuff that happens in this movie. Like, oh my God, I was like reading the synopsis. Oh yeah, that happens. And then that happens. But I grew up watching like Demolition Man, RoboCop. If you like any of those movies where it's like the far future, but it's kind of dirty and gritty and kind of realistic, it definitely fills that niche that like there's no movies like that right now. And so like I ate it up. I was like, oh, this is great. It's not perfect, but it is pretty good, and it's very, very unique. It's definitely worth a watch. It's really weird. We couldn't find it. Like, obviously Field was able to find it because he's a movie guy. But now it's on HBO Max. So I definitely that's always my number one recommended pick for Forgotten Cinema in terms of like, I think it was the movie that I liked the best, even though it wasn't necessarily the best movie we did on Forgotten Cinema.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I can't say I've seen that one, but I do enjoy, like you said, Demolition Man and RoboCop, so I'm sure I can sit through a watch of it and enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't sound like something for me. So it's a little too involved.
Too involved. I need something easier.
Yeah, dumb it down a little bit.
They're saying you should turn on your sign, Jay.
Oh, it's not on. Yeah, it's usually on. Let me do that real fast. Sorry.
Jay has a fantastic KB World of Nintendo fiber optic sign in his game room. If you haven't seen it,
something seemed off. That's what it was.
There we go.
There we go.
So fancy. All right, you want to go, Jay? What do you?
Yeah,
got?
why not? So I'll probably say this movie, and you guys will be like, "What are you talking about?" I completely remember that movie, but like I said, my criteria, I didn't remember when I was scrolling through IMDb or whatever it's called for 90s movies. I came across movie 126, which is 12 Monkeys. Totally forgot that movie existed. I'll read the synopsis.
Fair enough.
In a future world devastated by disease, a convict is sent back in time to gather information about the man-made virus that wiped out most of the human population on the planet. That's all I know about it because I never saw it. I'm assuming there's some monkeys involved, and this dude that looks like Kano from Mortal Kombat because he has a red eye. That's all I know.
I'm trying to think if I actually remember seeing it or not. 12 Monkeys. Yeah. I mean, I remember the cover and everything. Right.
See, there's Kano.
There's Kano.
Sorry, I took it down too fast.
What do you say, Mike? You remember this movie?
I know this movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it. It's not really about monkeys. Although I
figured the monkeys had the virus. Is that not true?
The monkeys do have the virus, but it's not. The 12 Monkeys is the name of the group, I believe, that's supposed to be distributing the virus.
I see.
And Bruce Willis goes back in time, and Brad Pitt's, I think, the guy who ends up making it all happen, even though he's in an insane asylum. It's a super bizarre movie, but it's definitely worth a watch. It's another one kind of like Strange Days, where it's very, very involved. I remember watching the movie when it ended the first time I watched it, and still not knowing exactly what I watched.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Uh-huh.
And I was only 14 in 95, so I probably was like, I don't want to see that.
Right, again, another
Mighty Ducks 3.
Pretty Mighty Ducks 3. I'll go to mine here. I guess sticking with these grim futuristic movies or whatever. I put on from 1990, director Sam Raimi, starring Liam Neeson. We got Dark Man.
Man. Oh yeah, that is a video game. I have that game.
It is a video game. Yes. So this is almost like, I want to say they were trying to make. So I saw a comment on the trailer because I had to watch the trailer, and the comment summed it up. It said it was the best superhero movie that wasn't based on a comic book, basically. Like, there was no comic on this. They made the movie, and it was going for this like Batman-ish superhero movie, I guess, so to say. And it was obviously dark. The gist of it is, I think it's a scientist, and he ends up. Yep, there's the game right there. I got it too. Dark Man.
If Batman and Dick Tracy had a baby.
Right. Like he ends up burning his face in an explosion, right? But he's working on some skin grafting technique or whatever. So there's an explosion that goes off. I guess a group of people find the body and they end up saving him. But in doing so, he gets like added strength and he can no longer feel pain and he gets very aggressive. So with him trying to find out like who set him up or who tried to blow up, whatever, he can use this skin grafting technique to look like any person, but it only lasts, I think, for like 90 minutes because
So it's like Face Off before Face Off existed.
Right. So he usually has bandages all over his face and this and that, but he can put on someone else's face, but it deteriorates after a certain amount of time. Pretty neat concept. I don't hear a lot of people talking about that one that much. You know, it's pretty fun superhero. I think since then, I think there have been comic books made about that. And then again, somehow it got a freaking NES game. I never beat that one, so that'd be one maybe to stream. And I think it's just like a platformer.
It's incredibly slippery. Every time you jump, he's all over the place.
Jeez.
Game Dave did a really good review on it. If you want to watch that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Game Dave's pretty reliable with his reviews. So
that's right.
Dark Man, pretty neat. All right, we'll loop back around to Mike, I guess, on your list here. What else we got?
All right, my next one on my list is Noises Off from 1992. It's a movie that stars Christopher Reeve, Michael Caine, Carol Burnett, Denholm Elliott, who's Brody from the Indiana Jones movies, and more people as well. And it's a movie about a director who's starting this play. The play's called Noises Off, and his Michael Caine is the director, and his whole cast are all kind of intertwined with each other in some way or another. Like one's in a relationship with this one person broke up with this one person's trying to get with this person. And because of all this inner turmoil, they forget their lines, they stumble on stuff. One of them's a drunk, or they sabotage themselves during these performances. And it's a traveling play with hopes of going to Broadway. And what happens is as the show progressively gets worse and worse, it becomes famous for how bad the play is and how bad everything goes, that when it gets put on Broadway, people are waiting for, people to fall downstairs, the set to break, people to stumble their lines or just fall asleep on stage. So it becomes famous for how much goes wrong in this play. But being someone who went to school for acting and acted in a bunch of plays and films and stuff like that, like I love kind of, it's really exaggerated, but some of that stuff does happen. And especially in rehearsal, all the stuff that goes wrong on a set and a stage. I really, really like it. It's really funny. And for someone who grew up just watching Christopher Reeve, as Superman,
right,
it's really fun to watch him play this kind of, he's this leading man, but he's also a bumbling moron, which is really fun to watch. So he's kind of like peak Clark Kent almost, and only peak Clark Kent.
Right.
And Michael Caine's always funny just watching him get super frustrated as a stodgy British guy as things get worse and worse and worse. So it's definitely a really fun watch.
Nice. What was it called again?
That's Noises Off.
Noises Off. Yeah, can't say I ever heard of that one there.
Yeah, I've never heard of that movie.
Mike, bring in the definitely forgotten ones.
You guys will know my next probably 2 movies.
Fair enough. Someone did mention in the chat as a forgotten movie was Idle Hands. David Apuzza said
Idle Hands is awesome.
Sure. And I said that The Offspring was in that movie because I remember the singer was getting his brain pulled back. Yeah.
And also Tom DeLonge was in it.
Tom DeLonge was in it.
He was serving hamburgers.
Pretty good. Okay. Who I forgot who goes now. You go. Yeah. Jay's next.
Okay. So I remembered this once I saw the name, but I didn't remember it until I saw it. You guys might remember it. It was Species, 1995.
Nice. Yes.
Once again, I'll read the tiny little synopsis. It says a group of scientists try to track down and trap a killer alien seductress before she successfully mates with a human. There you go.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know.
I definitely remember this movie.
Sexual content. You remember it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure my dad rented it, one of the weekends where I'd go to my dad's, he'd get horror movies and I get NES games. I want to say, didn't they make like 4 of these?
There's like 3 or 4 species. And I was
No
going to
clue.
add, it's an awkward watch with your parents back in the 90s.
Right.
My parents
Right.
did the same thing. Oh, it's an alien action thriller movie. And so we all rented it. And I couldn't have felt more awkward watching that with my parents.
Isn't she like naked on the front cover though? At least
She is just so thirsty the entire movie. It's ridiculous.
Oh man, she's dying to get that human seed. I guess
There was a hot tub
I
scene
took
in
it there.
there.
It's true.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Hot tub time machine, scarred for life. Rex the Great.
Yeah, I'd say that it was interesting. And yeah, maybe we were first time exposed to some weird sexuality stuff in there. Species.
Yeah,
But apparently it had to make some money for them to make subsequent sequels, right? At least
guess
maybe
so.
unless they went straight to VHS, right?
It was like Natasha Hendridge, right?
Oh,
So,
who
like,
played?
Who played the alien lady? So yeah, every
I
guy in
don't
the
know.
90s wanted that. Just the poster
If it
alone.
was
might be
Alicia
1,000.
Silverstone, I would have probably went and saw it.
Right.
Thirsty Alicia Silverstone.
Fair enough. All right, I'll move on to my next one here. It's enough species talk. Get too heated in here. This one I know Mike talked about on his podcast before, and I feel like no one really knows it or talks about it, and that is 1991, starring Bruce Willis, Hudson Hawk.
Hudson Hawk.
Which
Oh
is
yeah, that is
also a video game.
That's true.
It was a Game Boy game and an NES game.
Wow.
Hudson Hawk. And what was pretty neat is they mention Nintendo in the movie.
Weird.
Yeah, like
That's cool.
Bruce Willis is like talking about something, and it's a very weird character to see Bruce Willis in. I will say, I'm trying to think the plot. Like he's a burglar, right? And he gets broken out of prison, I believe, to help. Is he in prison or no? I'm confusing the plot of it because I've only watched it once.
I don't remember if he gets broken out of prison.
I know they get him to steal. This group is trying to get pieces to a machine that turns something into gold, like
something
metal
Da
into
Vinci
gold
had
or whatever. Right, that Da Vinci had made. And it's very quirky. And I think Mike had summed it up where they're not sure like if they should go full like Goofy in the movie, like with the comedy and this and
Can I say
right. And they're like, I don't know, like what is this movie trying to be? Is it trying to be that silly Goofy movie or what?
Yeah, that's a movie that Field and I hotly disagree on. I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people say, but Field loves that movie, and I was not feeling it.
Yeah, and we ended up doing a crossover episode because we talked about the video game itself.
Right, yep.
Because I'm like, back
Didn't
then,
they
it's like,
cancel like there was an SNES version or a different version, and they only released one version because the movie did so poorly?
Right. It's like, how do you even get that as like kids are going to want to play this NES game? Darkman, okay, like he's superhero-ish, but like Hudson Hawk?
He's hot coming off of Die Hard, so they were probably like, "Oh yeah, let's get this."
And they made a Die Hard video game too,
right? So maybe that was in the contract.
Bruce Willis just busting out NES games.
I guess so. Before we get into the next ones, I wanted to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Bull Airs. I'm rocking the Bull Airs Doom jacket right here. If you guys can see the logo there, and it's got sweet patches down the back, but they are doing a exclusive release which goes live tomorrow, and they're doing custom Clerks 2 shoes here. The Bull Airs Moobies, which looks freaking sweet. And he also is getting a jersey made.
Oh, that jersey's sick.
And like a stress ball that, those like balls you can
it's a stress ball.
foam.
Cool.
Yeah, that you can squeeze and stuff. Man, Tom's getting like so many licensed deals. It's like ridiculous over on the site.
I got to ask you a question, Russ.
Yeah.
How does this sponsorship work? Well, like usually when you get sponsored, they throw you some free swag. So What am I getting here from Bull Airs?
What is Jay? Well, maybe we'll get you some shoes. We'll see.
How about that jersey? That'd be sick.
That's a pretty sick jersey right there.
I'd wear that.
Jay is into some hockey stuff, so that's certainly
true.
would fit you there. Yeah, he's got these set up, and I'm trying to think of what other ones he was announcing. But essentially, yeah, I mean, you can head over to his website, bullairs.com, and it kind of shows the upcoming releases, or you can follow them on Instagram as well. And usually he'll be doing that. And I do my best to post online about all the upcoming shoes and cool gear. But yeah, when I got this, everyone always compliments on it. It's a nice, like, windbreaker-ish.
Yeah, that jacket's really sweet. I love the color.
Yeah, and even like
that
the
yellow zipper is pretty. That's popping.
Yeah, so I dig it. So we appreciate the sponsorship. Check them out if you want to. All right. What else we got? What else we got here? Should we do some comments from the people where we reached out on social media? I guess we could do. Oh, and we do have a voicemail as well.
Oh, voicemail. Love
if
those.
you guys want to call in, you can't call in live, but you can leave a voicemail. And
That'd be
it's
sick if you did, though.
I know. I haven't figured that out yet. 949-682-9277 is our phone number. It's listed in all of our descriptions of the video on the website and everything. So you could check that out there. Yeah, let's see. What do we do? I guess we'll go to some social media comments here and we'll check those out.
What did you say? What did you say?
Springfield, let's hear from you.
Let's hear from you. So we reached out to you guys over on Instagram about 90s movies that maybe were forgotten. What do we got here? Tessini says Rapid Fire, the greatest action movie most people have never seen.
Never heard of it.
What about you, Mike? Rapid Fire?
The name sounds familiar, but no, I don't think I know of it.
There we go. Forgotten. Fits the criteria.
Absolutely.
Eric Plunk says Suburban Commando starring Hulk Hogan, Doc Brown.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Shelley Duvall, and a cameo by The Undertaker. I definitely rented this one multiple times. Excellent.
Great call.
I do remember that one.
I just remember watching, I don't know if it was his 90s, but I watched Christmas with Muscles, and that's starring Hulk Hogan. It's a Christmas movie. Just as good, maybe. We got Scuffy GIF. Space Invaders and Heavyweights are two very funny movies. I heard of Heavyweights. Space Invaders? Like it's about the video game or what?
Didn't Heavyweights have Ben Stiller in it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ben Stiller?
Dude,
he was so funny in that movie.
I don't know if Heavyweights is forgotten. I think a lot of people still talk about Heavyweights.
So maybe not.
It's got a lot of good stuff in there.
And we got AZ Dad, 1988, says Surf Ninjas.
Absolutely, Surf Ninjas. Absolutely.
Didn't that have an SNES game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, see, we had two NES games on my list, and this is a SNES game, but still forgot. I feel like the Three Ninjas, right?
Three Ninjas is better remembered than Surf Ninjas.
Right. That's kind of like the straight to VHS movie, right? That a lot of kids were like, I'm not really sure about that. Let's see. And then what else we got? We got Facebook. We had a few comments from there. Brian says the only one I can think of off the top of my head is Man in the Iron Mask. I remember really liking that movie, but I don't think anyone really talks about it. And also the two Disney movies most people don't talk about, but are great, are Hercules and Hunchback of Notre Dame. We have also been watching Hercules, the animated series, recently, and it's good.
Hercules, the Disney movie, is one of my favorite Disney movies. I love that movie. I don't think it gets enough positive praise. I think it's awesome.
What year did that come out? Because I don't think I think I was above watching Disney movies by the time that one rolled around.
Probably 96,
97.
The last Disney movie I remember seeing was Pocahontas, and I remember not wanting to see it.
You're like, I'm done. I'm done.
Somebody
kids? Like, aren't they?
I was with some smaller kids that we were babysitting.
Okay.
And they wanted to see it, so I was like, all right, whatever, we'll see it.
You're like, we'll put it on. Fine.
I had to go to the theater to see it.
Oh, okay. Driving out. Matthew Durkin. All right. I think he's in the chat watching as well. There are a bunch of movies I think could have made the list, but a few that I rarely see mentioned are Small Soldiers, Hackers, Point of No Return, and Demolition Man. They may not win a ton of awards, but they are always fun to watch.
I mean, those movies are all great. Well, I mean, Hackers is 90s cheese. But Small Soldiers and Demolition Man's, I don't know if that's forgotten.
Yeah, I don't think Demolition Man is.
Right. I think still people talk about that. I did see someone mention somewhere I think there was another similar movie, not Small Soldiers, but I think just called Toy Soldiers, if I remember correctly. Let me see if I can look it up on IMDb. Small Soldiers, which I think had the same concept.
I was always surprised that we never got a Small Soldiers 2.
Let's see. Maybe not.
Small Soldiers is another one with a video game tie-in, but I think that was on the original PlayStation. I remember I had a demo disc back when those were a thing with that game on there.
See, kids, we used to get CDs that were
You used to have it in your magazine, and they might have been scratched up beyond all recognition, but you could put it in your PlayStation.
Let's see. Let me reach out to, we got, where else we did? We did Facebook, we did Instagram. Oh, and our YouTube page. If you head over to YouTube and we have a community tab, we post in there as well. We got a few people on here. We got Eli says Airborne, a movie about rollerblading with a young
I was
jet
going to bring that up. I love
Nice.
it. I just bought it on DVD like a month ago.
saying he likes to play Nintendo for a school report, and Hard Target, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, was an underrated action flick that spin kicked its way into my heart. I don't think I've seen either of those. And
Hard Target's good.
yeah,
I just thought of another one.
As a 90s action movie. Yeah.
okay. We got Steve versus Man Cave Arcade. I'm not sure if it's been forgotten, but The Mask with Jim Carrey was always one of my favorite 90s movies as a kid. They ended up making a mask cartoon, which I feel people forgot. Also, I was a fan of the 90s Godzilla movie where he was in New York. That movie seems to get a bad rap, but I loved it back in the day. That also got a cartoon. That's right, it did. Yeah, and a video game. Some other forgotten favorites of mine were The Indian in the Cupboard, the live action Flintstones, Angels in the Outfield, The Page Master, Flubber,
Sorry,
and
Macaulay Culkin.
Dustin checks in.
We did the
Isn't that
Page
about a
Master on
monkey?
Forgotten Cinema.
Oh, you did do the Page Master.
Yeah, it was not as good as I had remembered. But the live action Flintstones is on our list to do for the revival of Forgotten Cinema.
Gotcha.
Because I just read an article about it's not as bad as you remember. And I was like,
I remember seeing
being
it in the
good.
theater and
yeah.
not thinking it was that great.
Indian in the Cupboard, though, is awesome.
That was awesome.
We got Purge and Splurge Thrifting. Always loved the Mighty Ducks. Angus. Never heard of that one.
Angus was great. It was about the fat kid that took the girl to prom.
Okay. American
I
Pie.
think there might have been a Weezer song in it too, possibly.
And Three Ninjas. Funny story about Three Ninjas. I rented the VHS so many times it got lost in my room. It ended up being wedged between my bed's headboard and the wall. And my dad had to pay our local video rental store $30 to replace it.
Jeez.
I say the money was worth it. That movie was awesome. Yeah, much better than Surf Ninjas, right?
I can remember their names: Rocky, Colt, and Tom Tom.
There we go. Manuel says, not sure if it's 90s or maybe 89, but Little Monsters with Fred Savage and Howie Mandel was awesome. It scared me, but I still enjoyed it. Don't hear much about it anymore.
I remember the movie cover because some dude had like a blue face with horns.
Yes. Yeah, definitely a classic for sure. Dave would know. He's definitely all about that. I'm sure he has that one on VHS, but that was a classic. Remember, what is this? Remember when VHS tapes would get eaten up by the VCR? Good times. Jeez. All right, what else we got? We got Retroholic 16. What up, fellas? Some of my favorites that I think are great to still watch today that people forget compared to popular movies are Heavyweights, Man of the House, Blank Check, and Brink. Funny story about Brink is it is actually a $100 VHS, and most people don't remember the guy who played the original Black Power Ranger is in it. I went to a con in Denver, and everyone was in line for him with Power Ranger stuff, and I had him sign Brink. He died laughing and said it was his first time signing it. That's pretty cool. This way you stand out like as a core memory of the convention for him. You're like, oh, I'm just signing Power Ranger stuff over and over. Like, oh, I remember doing this movie. And then we have Mike. Freaked. Such an over-the-top film with Alex Winter from the Bill and Ted movies. There's also a cameo from Keanu Reeves as the dog boy.
The dog boy.
I never heard of this movie. Freaked. I got to see what the cover looks like. 1993.
It'll probably spark some memories when you see it.
I don't think it does.
Oh, I remember watching this movie when I was really little. This movie scared the crap out of me.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Oh, that looks weird. I don't know if I remember that actually, but it looks like a fever dream.
But ugly, but funny.
They look like the Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah.
That was a movie.
Yeah, it was.
That thing right there. That thing right there haunts my memories.
I don't think I ever seen this movie. I mean, props to the special effects team. That's a lot of.
Look at that nose person. That's disgusting.
Wow. Okay. All right. So we'll have to check it. Oh, look, it's on Blu-ray. Freaked. There you go.
Wow.
Pick it up. Give it a watch.
Or don't.
Sweet. All right. Who's next? Who do we got? We're back to you, Mike, I think.
Okay. I've got Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion.
I want to say I remember this one.
Really? I figured this one would be like one of the two that you guys would know.
Let me see. Maybe. I don't know.
Lisa Kudrow and Mira Sorvino are like two kind of dim-witted.
Oh, I remember that.
Going to their high school reunion after 10 years. Got Alan Cumming in it.
Hey, we got a super chat from Retro Rick.
Oh, Retro Rick. What's up?
He says, check out The Pest, one of my favorite forgotten 90s movies.
How about that? All right. The Pest. I never heard of that one either. Rick is all about 90s stuff for sure.
It's about Rick himself.
Is it?
He is the pest.
Let's pull it up. Let's see what the IMDb
It sounds like
is.
it's about. It sounds like a movie that the guy from Saturday Night Live and Home Alone 2 would be in. What's his name?
And it's got Luigi in it here.
Oh, it's John Leguizamo. Oh my God, this looks great.
Oh, it's too loud.
They call him the pest.
Stop repeating what I say. I mean it.
He's got Mr. Rooney.
Fast cash.
Where's my money? I'll have the money for you. What's the day after today? Tomorrow? Tomorrow.
And the only way he's going to get it.
Join me for a little gentlemanly hunt.
Wow.
What are we gonna hunt?
Oh, this is
let
great.
them hunt him.
I mean, it's definitely 90s.
That looks so funny. Good call. Good call, Rick.
Nice. We'll have to add that one onto there. What's up, Alex? Alex is in the house. Aldo's here. What's up? Welcome. Thanks for joining. We're talking about 90s forgotten movies. Retro Rick suggested The Pest. And Mike was talking about, we got was it Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion?
Romeo and Michelle's high school.
Not Romeo. I had pulled
Was
up
that
the
before
IMDb.
or after American Pie?
Let's see. This is 97.
Probably like right before American Pie, like a couple years before, maybe.
Oh, you
Maybe
said
a year
Mira
before.
Sorvino. I was thinking of Mina Savari.
Oh,
I
yeah.
still remember this though, because that cover was hard to forget because it looks so similar.
I know. That was like twins.
I just think it's a really funny like movie altogether. Like it's just the comedy's there. It's goofy, but it's not too like they're not very smart, but it's not super dumb. Like it's not Dumb and Dumber dumb, but it's
Right.
on the cusp. And I think it's great because they carry the movie. It's got some great sequences. It's quick. It's got some really great lines. Like it's definitely worth a watch. I think it's pretty much available anywhere still.
Nice.
Yeah, it looks like it shows on Prime Video
Look at
right
that hair.
there.
Wow.
Definitely 90s for sure. I probably said, like I said, I think I've seen it once.
It looks
And I
like the
was like,
same
okay.
street from Dumb and Dumber, where they're out in the middle of nowhere.
Could be. Do one of those location shots.
That's
Sweet.
funny.
All right, what do we got? You're up, Jay.
All right, I got a good one for you. Somebody mentioned this was not on my list, but I've thought of it since. Somebody mentioned Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
Do you remember Sudden Death? It was about Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
He is a retired police officer who now works as a security guard at the Civic Arena, which is the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins. I would know that, right?
Gotta have the hockey tie-in.
And so basically, some guys bringing a bomb during one of the playoff games.
Yes.
And
yes.
Jean-Claude Van Damme has to undetonate all the bombs. Meanwhile, this remake of the 1992 Stanley Cup's going on, where Pittsburgh plays Chicago, and you see a couple different hockey players, like Luc Robitaille's in it, and I don't remember Jay's last name, but his name's Jay something. He does all their commentary. But as a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, it was the greatest movie ever.
Right, right.
That arena no longer exists in Pittsburgh, so it's kind of neat that it's documented on this movie. But it's actually a really good movie, even minus the hockey tie-in.
Yeah, I definitely remember seeing that, and it's peak Jean-Claude Van Damme, just pumping out the action movies. You're like, all right, it's Jean-Claude Van Damme. I'll see it. I'll check it out.
One of the craziest parts of the movie is he's wearing their mascot outfit and fighting people in a giant penguin outfit. So awesome.
Going undercover. I dig it. All right, what else do I got here? I put this one is not a video game. I went with 1995, starring Sandra Bullock, The Net.
Oh yeah.
You ever see this, Jay?
I have never seen it, but it sounds vaguely familiar.
It's about this little thing we like to call the internet. It's definitely way ahead of its time of what the movie is all about, because it's talking about stuff like we have now. It's basically she's an analysis computer person, and she clicks on a file. She gets a floppy disk, right? Just like in Hackers, everything was floppy disk then. And she clicked on some file, and then she can see all government stuff. And then there's these people coming after her, and it shows they can erase her identity through computers. We can change your photo on the DMV site, and we can delete this stuff on because everything's digital. You leave your digital imprint on the world, and you're like, what is this? This is back in 1990.
I'm starting to remember this now.
Let's see.
You said Sandra Bullock?
Yeah, Sandra Bullock. 1995.
Yeah, I feel like I've watched this in the last 2-3 years for some reason.
The Net, suspense.
Oh yeah, I did see this recently.
A floppy disk probably has 2 whole.
Because I remember her being on that beach.
Where can I hook up my phone?
Every trace of our existence is computerized. Everything
I love all the 90s technology.
Yeah, still so outdated.
Network of information.
Computers your life, aren't they?
Yes. Perfect hiding place.
Computer analyst Angela Bennett.
Dual monitor
just
set up.
doing her job.
God.
When she stumbled onto something
What is this?
she never should have seen.
I plugged it in and I'm staring.
Was that Doom in the background?
Maybe.
Imagine.
Someone's tapped into the system.
How long would it take to track it?
Depends on how long she stays online.
Something
They're just playing a Nintendo game.
than she could ever imagine.
They hacked into computers and they caused this chaos. Wall Street,
The market panic as officials suspended trading.
the Department of Water and Power in Atlanta.
I feel like, with this, how everything's probably went over a lot of people's heads of this stuff could actually happen, essentially.
They're probably sealing my identity? Impossible.
Yeah.
I'm me.
Also, shout out to the movie trailer guy with his deep voice and doing all the trailers in a world unknown to internet technology.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's got a 6 out of 10 on IMDb here. Sandra Bullock. I don't know if this was, I think this is after Speed. When did Speed come out?
I don't know. I don't know where or
This
why
is
I
probably the
watched
same
this.
year.
94.
After.
So okay.
This is
But it
when
was
she
good.
grew up then.
So I'm sure it got some people to the movies because of her hype off of Speed to check it out. But I feel like no one ever mentions it again. It's just one of those movies about the internet before the internet.
Yeah, that was a good movie. I liked it.
Sweet.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up from Jay.
This movie is good.
This movie's good. Oh, wait, I got 2 more on my list. What you got? You got 2 more, Mike?
I got 2 more as well.
Sweet. What do you got? We're rolling back around.
Oh, is it
to
my
you.
turn? All right.
It's back to you.
Well, first of all, Retro Apocalypse says check out The Chase with Charlie Sheen. I really like that movie. I just did it guest starring on the Pint podcast, another podcast that I'm buddies with. And they both hated that movie, and I was there defending it by myself, but I'm glad someone else likes The Chase.
Nice.
My next movie, I hope you guys know this. This is the second of my 2 movies I thought you guys might know.
Okay.
Is New Jack City.
Yes, I remember that.
I say, all right, I got one. I love New Jack City. I think it's such a good version. Like it's about the crack epidemic in New York in the 90s. But it's like such like a weird fairy tale version of New York. And so like the Cash Money Brothers become so powerful. It's ridiculous. I just love everything about the movie, the style, the dialogue, the look of the film.
Yeah.
Pookie Bear with Chris Rock. It was like his first role. He's such a good little crackhead. Like I love it.
Good little crackhead.
Wesley Snipes is like peak Wesley Snipes. Like I just think this movie is really, really fantastic.
Yeah, I can't say I hear people talk about it that much, and with a cast like that too. You're like, all right, come on.
I think this is like early in almost everybody's career, so I think it's like Ice-T was obviously a rapper first, but like this is like his first big role.
This was like his break.
Yeah, Judd Nelson's in it. Like Judd Nelson was probably a name, and I think Wesley Snipes was getting there.
Okay.
But yeah, the whole movie is just really, really good and so ridiculous, but in the right way.
In the right way.
What year did this come out?
1991, I believe.
Oh, wow. That's pretty early. Yeah, I probably never seen it because I was too young at that point and then just never watched it as I got older.
It's definitely something like if you like 90s, like go back to that.
Yeah. I wonder, do you know if it's streaming anywhere currently?
I can't remember because I covered it on the show a while ago. I can't remember if I streamed it or rented it. It's definitely worth like $2.
It says you can rent it
HD
on Prime Video.
Okay, cool.
Aldo says certified hood classic.
That's it.
I want to see. I would look up. Let's see if it's in the same. This was 91. Okay, so I remember the one after was. I don't know if you guys seen Juice.
We did Juice on the podcast.
I remember Juice
in
92.
You got to get the juice, Russ.
The juice is loose.
I remember a funny story with this. There was a guy who lived across the street from me, and he had a bunch of movies. This sounds so weird. So he would let like the neighborhood kids, come get a movie like a rental store or whatever, rent a movie. And I remember him giving me Juice to check out.
Was he like that guy on Family Guy that's like, come here, Chris.
Come here. Would you want to
watch
rent a
my
movie?
movies? You can sleep on my couch while you watch my movies.
Not as creepy, so that's good.
Good.
All right, what do you got, Jay? What do you got?
Okay, this movie I completely forgot existed. It's called Kids.
Oh, wow.
A day in the life of a group of teens as they travel around New York City, skating, drinking, smoking, and deflowering virgins.
Yeah, I don't know if I could bring up any footage of the trailer on this one, but I definitely remember seeing this one for sure.
I don't know if I ever saw it, but I just remember the commercial and being like, "Wow, that's pretty risque."
Yeah, like I know my friend got a VHS tape of it, but I don't know like how, if he had to order it or something, and he was like, "Oh, we got to see this movie. It's like wild." And I remember watching it, and it was just like. Because we'd never done any of that stuff. And
it's just like a bunch of debauchery. Yeah.
Right. And I don't know if it was
Actually, I did think I did see it now that I'm thinking about it.
Might have seen it once. It's probably a one and done. You see it.
Yeah,
and you're
yeah,
like, all right.
yeah. I felt a little dirty after watching it because I was still pretty young. I think when I saw it, I was like, this isn't the way I live my life, but okay. Cool.
Oh, Aldo says I remember seeing kids on HBO all the time back then. Well, I figured I could see HBO because they wouldn't cut because you can't show that on. It'd be a 30-minute movie.
I had a buddy of mine who was like in school for filmmaking, and he would be like, "My greatest inspiration is kids," and everyone who was like in like the filmmaking class with him and stuff just looked at him and just stared, including like the professor was just like, "What? No, get out of my class!" Like, I don't want to watch your short films when we get to the filmmaking part of this.
Right.
I don't know who you're gonna get to do your films with you.
Jeez,
that's funny.
Have you guys ever watched Surviving the Game with Ice-T?
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Like I remember watching it, but I don't remember a lot of it.
Okay. Yeah, that one I don't remember. I remember Juice, and I said the New Jack City there. But yeah, don't remember that one. So that could be another forgotten one as well. What is Dave talking about? Lots of folk implosion songs on that soundtrack. On the kid soundtrack, a classic 90s modern rock band. Maybe. All right, going on to my next one. It is an NES game to continue it up. I would say it's somewhat forgotten, but I know a lot of people talked about it. I can't remember if you guys did it or not on the podcast, but I put Dick Tracy.
We did do that on the podcast. Yep.
1990s.
Dick Tracy's phenomenal.
Dick Tracy. Love the style of it they had on there. It was like straight, comic book movies weren't huge then. Batman had just come out, right? 89.
Yep.
So
that movie had a lot of marketing behind it, I remember.
Dick Tracy.
Oh,
Too much marketing. That probably blew half its budget. That's probably why there wasn't a Dick Tracy 2.
It could be, yeah.
It was almost like Sin City before, obviously like 10 years or so before Sin City came out, but like where it's so comic accurate to like the point of just super stylized.
Right. Like a lot of these I've seen like behind the scenes, it's almost paintings that they use to light the backgrounds and stuff like that to get that, how they're using color throughout this movie. We get that splash of red or green.
Mm-hmm.
It's like color everywhere. And I think it just depicts the comic book very well. It's a pretty fun story. Madonna was in it.
I love all the goofy villains like Littleface and the Blank.
Awesome.
And those guys are all so weird. It was great.
Because I never read the comic growing up, so I was just seeing it as like, oh, here's a superhero movie or whatever, what have you, and it looks neat. But they definitely a good one. They made an NES game, which is pretty hard. I've never beaten that one, so maybe I can. And maybe I could dive back into that and see if I can.
Yeah, it's got the good. What about Bob? David's right. Yeah.
Oh, that's who's in it.
Yeah, I keep looking at it and I'm like, where do I know that kid from? And that's exactly what he's from. What about Bob? He's trying to dive and Bob teaches him how to dive.
And we got Al Pacino, right?
Yep, he's one of the mob bosses. 3-hour cut. That kid's also in Hook. That's
Peter Pan. He's the.
Oh yes,
that's right. He is in Hook.
Warren Betty claims there's a 3-hour cut of Dick Tracy floating around somewhere.
Wow.
I wonder what else would be. I'd definitely be interested in seeing it.
Give him the cement shoes.
I know he won't give anybody the rights to the movie. He owns the rights for himself. And he has to do something Dick Tracy related like every 7 years or something. And he comes out and does this stupid little movie thing, 10-minute bit where he's dressed as Dick Tracy because they won't let him be Dick Tracy anymore because they say he's too old. So studios don't want to fund his film, but he won't give anybody the rights to Dick Tracy. So until he passed away, basically,
so he has to do it every 7 years to keep it alive or something.
7 years or 10 years, and he comes I remember when we covered it on Forgotten Cinema, we watched one of them, and it's just him basically coming out onto his front lawn and being like, "Hey, it's Dick Tracy. I'm gonna solve some crimes. I'm gonna do and it's so embarrassing to watch. It's just kind of you gotta let it go, guy. You had it. You're an incredibly famous actor. You're one of the most famous actors of all. Let it go. Let it go.
David says he should do it every leap day.
I love how Adam Gabbard said, "I won the Dick Tracy NES. I won the game Dick Tracy NES because when I was a kid, that's how I always said I won. I won over this game. I won it.
Oh, instead of saying I beat the game,
instead of saying I beat it or I finished it, I won. I love that.
Nice. All right, let's see. That was mine. Okay, so we're back to Mike now with the
All right.
Next
my last one, I don't know if you guys have probably never seen it. I never saw it until we did it on Forgotten Cinema.
Okay.
But Living in Oblivion. It's from 1995. It's written and directed by Tom DeCillo. Stars Steve Buscemi, Catherine Keener, Dermot Mulroney. Peter Dinklage is in it. I think it's his first role. And Kevin Corrigan. And basically, Steve Buscemi's this indie filmmaker, and he's making this movie. And it's everybody. He has a nightmare about directing the feature. Like in that trailer, the black and white scene is like the third dream. He has his first nightmare, then his actress has a second nightmare, and they kind of build on each other's nightmares about experiences filming this movie until you get to the last quote unquote dream sequence, which is actually probably real. And it's everything that can go wrong in like a small film set. Like when you and I, Russ, were doing like Bad Blood, like sound cuts out, or some garbage truck just won't leave, or you can't get the lighting right, or some actor comes in and wants to buy James LaGrosse, is like this semi-popular actor.
Yeah.
And he goes in and he wants to try something new. He's like, I want to wear an eye patch. And he puts on this eye patch accent and won't touch his cues. And the microphone guy is like trying to move with him and getting the boom mic in every shot. Like if you like indie filmmaking, if you ever were interested in it or are part or involved in it, or if you just love film, like that's a look behind the process of like what it's like on like an indie film, trying to make your features with like a group of people. Like it's awesome. And it's really funny in an almost too awkward way, but not so awkward you can't watch it kind of way.
Okay. Yeah, to see him in a different role like that, I was like, okay. That's what I was gonna say. Rax said, what about The Room? I was gonna say kind of gives me almost like the vibes on that. If you heard have you seen The Room, Mike?
Well, the original The Room, or the movie called The Room based on the shooting of
the original.
I've seen the original The Room. The Room is just bad. Like
Right.
whatever movie they're making isn't necessarily bad.
Okay.
You never really get they screw up everything they're in, so you really don't even know what their movie is as they're doing it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I could say I never seen that one before, so certainly forgotten. What do you got, Jay?
All right, this might be a movie you guys remember. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of forgotten. Dangerous Minds with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Well, I remember the soundtrack.
I think she. Oh yeah, I guess the song is pretty popular, thanks to whatever his name was. But what is it like? She's like in an inner city, and she's like trying to get these kids to like, engage in learning, and they're all just like cutting up and whatnot, kind of like the kids from the kids movie.
Right. She
finally breaks through and kind of gets them to put some importance on education. Is that kind of
the gist of it?
That's
the gist of it.
Yeah. What do we got here? Louisiana retired U.S. Marine becomes a teacher in California high school, but her mostly Latino and Black students from
that's racist
and racially segregated loyalty do not easily embrace her.
But then she finally wins them over, and then everybody sings, "We've been living most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise." And they all do like a big dance to it. I don't know.
Pretty much. I've seen this back in the day.
I made that up.
Sure. But most people know it because of the soundtrack with the Gangster Paradise in it. Yes.
What was that guy? Coolio. Golly,
Yes.
I can't believe I forgot his name.
Coolio.
Anyway, Dangerous Minds. That's my last one.
I guess there was similar plot here that David Apuzzo was saying was Higher Learning. Can't say I heard of that one. It's familiar to you.
Name.
I know of Higher Learning, but I don't think I've seen Higher Learning.
Although Aldo came in with the retort and says, Rax, that one's called High School High, a classic.
Here we go.
I was also wrong about calling the movie based on The Room, because it was called The Disaster Artist, which Rex also corrected me on.
Yes. Which was good too. But I was curious of how many people came out to see that movie not seeing The Room to get the comedy of what it was making fun of, so to say, right?
I've
Like,
never heard of this movie you guys are talking about, so I'm so lost.
It's
Well, you never heard of The Room or the movie based on The Room?
Either.
Either. Wow. Consider yourself lucky. The Room is terrible.
So this is see, this wouldn't fall into our thing because it came out in 2003.
That looks like the dude from Game Chasers. What's his name? Starts with an M. What is it? The brother.
Yes, I can't remember.
Billy
his
J.
name. I'm gonna say it's
Why
not.
do I want to call him Mort? That's not it.
That's what I was gonna say, but I'm just thinking of Mort.
Melvor.
Melvor.
He looks like Melvor from the Game Chasers.
But essentially, he's trying to make a film. He wants to like become a like a movie producer or whatever, and he meets some other local guy, and he's like, they keep getting rejected by everyone, so he's like, let's make our own movie, and he's like, I'll fund it, and it's just like terribly bad. It's hard to describe. It became this weird cult classic thing. I mean, it's 30 seconds, but I guess we could just watch the little preview thing here.
I don't love it.
Wait, what?
These are for you. The best movie of the year.
I don't love him anymore.
Johnny's my best friend.
This will be our secret. Experience this quirky new black comedy.
You have my money, right?
I treat you like a princess, and you stab me in the back. It's a riot.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
A film with the passion of Tennessee Williams. The Room, directed by Tommy Wiseau. Rated R. Experience this quirky new black comedy. Coming soon near you.
I guess that kind of sums it up. I don't. The movie comes with an underwear advertisement. Oh, hey, Mark.
Amazing.
There's so many quotable lines. So, like, if you didn't watch that movie and then you went to see The Disaster Artist, which is a retelling of, I guess, how that movie was made, but I don't know. It was wild. It was wild to check it out.
I mean, it's still a wild.
Yes,
crazy
James
story about how
Franco.
it was made.
Agreed, and we still don't know how old
Tommy Wiseau is.
Tommy
or where
is,
he comes from.
Where he comes from.
Where he gets all his money.
And he had so like when they were filming, digital was like coming out, so they went to go like rent camera equipment to make this film, and then he was just like, I'll just buy the camera equipment. And they're like, do you want the digital or the film? And he's like, I'll just take both. And they're like, what? Why? So, yeah, Aldo sums it up there. You can't explain The Room. You just have to experience it yourself. Disaster Artist is the account of the making of the film by the co-lead of The Room, Greg Sestero.
I feel like you could watch The Disaster Artist and at least get like watch it and have like at least more of a background on The Room. So when you watch The Room,
right,
maybe it's just not quite as cringe because it's so cringy. Like watching it, and it's just like I was shown it knowing nothing about The Room because it was just kind of blowing up, and I was sat down and for like an hour and 30 minutes had to watch this thing, and I was just like, I don't get it. Why do you love this?
Who knows? That I don't. Now I forgot where we left off. Who went last?
I think I'm done.
You were done, so then I'm up.
Yeah.
All right. I put 1997. I don't know if anyone remembered this, but I have a fun story about it. Let's see. Oh, no, it's not. I'm just looking it up on IMDb here. Jodie Foster was in this, and Matthew McConaughey. That is Contact.
Oh, Contact, phenomenal.
I feel like not a lot of people talk about this one. I've seen it when I was in high school, and my astronomy teacher put it on for us. And I was like, okay. And I was just watching, funny enough, prior to this, we were watching a short YouTube video that explained movies that got science pretty much right. And this was on the list itself there. But essentially, they get a message from space that was it Jodie Foster's character decrypts it's like numbers and this and that or whatever, and it ends up being blueprints and plans to build a device to then go see the aliens. So they build
Probably
this
the Halo.
device, right? They make the Halo, and then it shows the her dropping. Like they got all the people viewing it, and you see the thing go through, and it cuts to her perspective, and you get to see the whole thing go down. But then when they go back to, don't spoil it now. That's like, don't spoil it. Yeah, I don't know how many people have seen the movie or not. Maybe I shouldn't spoil it.
Event Horizon is also
legs
awesome. Rex.
bend at the end had me sent.
What do you
I don't know
say?
what that means. He said the way the kid's legs bend at the end had me sent. I don't remember that part.
In Contact? I don't know if it's that. Yeah.
I might be talking about The Arrival or Event Horizon.
Because we got some people coming up on here. Yeah. Back then, it was everywhere back then. But I feel like no one really, when you're talking about sci-fi movies, maybe people don't bring up the sci-fi there.
I think
I remember all the satellites
nowadays.
Oh, all the yeah, you need all the satellites facing to the stars if you want to contact aliens. Did you guys talk about Event Horizon?
We did. We covered Event Horizon. It was one of our last movies we did in this season. Event Horizon is great, but yeah, it was plagued by issues. It's amazing how good it is based on like what happened behind the scenes and how screwed over it got screwed by the studios, because they put all their, I think it was Paramount, I can't remember what studio, took all the money basically for this film and put it into Titanic. They were just like, we're going all in on Titanic, cut its budget while it was being made. It's directed by Paul S. Anderson whichever Paul Anderson did the Resident Evil ones, not the good Paul Anderson. And it's amazing that it's better. It's not trash like the Resident Evil movies are. It's a really interesting movie. It's a really good horror space movie. So if you haven't checked that out, it's probably the thing that it's most inspired the Dead Space games, would be my guess.
So
right, that's what Rex was below. Yeah.
Is it like the ship is an alien itself?
No, the ship kind of goes through this portal and ends up almost like Doom going into a portal through hell, but then coming back like 10 years later without the crew, but supposedly unchanged. So a new crew goes to investigate and find out that there might still be stuff changed on board.
Wow, sounds awesome.
Sadly, the director's cut of Event Horizon apparently got burned in a fire.
But there were rumors that they found it in like a mine shaft and it might still exist in some parts.
How would it even get in a mine shaft?
The legend of like the director's cut of Event Horizon is nuts.
Wow, that's wild.
Well, because they had so many other scenes. I guess. Well, it's based on a book, right? And there was. I want to say, was it based?
I don't think so.
Because wasn't there like some weird...
is based on a book. Contact is based on a book by Carl Sagan.
What am I thinking of? There was some like weird
Impact. I don't know.
Deep Impact. There was some weird sexual scene or something that I think didn't make the movie.
Oh, that they had porn stars and amputees film like this awful blood orgy scene. You only see like little glimpses in the flash to hell. But I guess it was so disturbing that like the studio executives were absolutely not. The test audience got sick watching it, so they had to cut it down.
But they could make out of so much shit.
Fair enough. But if you guys haven't seen Contact, a good sci-fi movie, then definitely check that one out. You got one more, Mike? Or was that you said your last one?
That was my top 5. But In the Mouth of Madness, Retropocalypse, Forgotten Cinema also covered on our Forgotten Horror Season 4.
So there you go. You got a bunch of ones you could check out over at Mike's podcast there.
Plug.
Let's see what else we got. I want to do a comment shout out. If you guys end up leaving a comment, well, you guys are commenting all on the live stream, but if you watch the replay and leave a comment, perhaps you'll get a shout out as well. Where's my little banner thingies here?
Comment shout out.
Comment shout out.
What did they say?
Did they say? It was on our last episode talking about maybe they're not so bad with video games. Nexus did chime in and say, I miss Saturday morning cartoons, but I have coffee and the weekly warp pipe.
Oh, we love you.
And you could pick up if you're having coffee and you need something to put your coffee in. We have weekly Warp Pipe mugs over on our website, and you can grab that over at theweeklywarpipe.com. Mine's over there. I can't get up and get it.
Mine has a light bulb in it.
Why are you storing a light bulb in it?
Where else would you put a light bulb, Russ, except in your weekly Warp Pipe mug? Come on. Makes perfect sense.
That's so you could get your ideas.
That's right.
And then I did want to get to a voicemail. We had someone leave us a voicemail. Again, you can call into the show, leave some comments, suggestions. We got 949-682-9277. That's 949-682-WARP. Leave us your voicemail. What do we got?
Hopefully it's Santa.
I keep dreaming about my dream phone. It's for you.
Hey, Russ. MJ.
Hey.
But I'm addressing Russ right now. I got to disagree with you on Jaws, and you're probably going to disagree with my disagreeing, but Jaws is not a horror movie. I've only seen the first Jaws, and I don't know. I watched it recently, and I was like, I don't know. I remember it being better, I think, and I just kind of got bored. It's an okay movie, but I'm like, at the time, I understand it's probably
Mike's disgusted.
Good, but just going back and watching it now, I'm like, I don't know. It's a good movie. I don't think it's what a lot of people make it out to be, but
it was made in the 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was made 74.
And then Jay, I agree with you 100% on Cat's Eye. Stephen King, Cat's Eye. That movie scared me so bad as a kid.
Me too.
My dad would rent a lot of horror movies, which is weird that I love horror movies now because I hated them when I was a kid, and my dad would always have one on TV, and I hated it. And anyways, I remember he
that sounds mean.
It was like movie night, and we watched Cat's Eye. I don't know why. I was
Watch
a little
this
kid.
troll.
Anyways, I
Sucked the
had
life out of Drew Barrymore.
such bad nightmares, and my parents were divorced. So I remember I was so scared, I could not sleep. And then my mom called my dad and was just yelling at him over the phone
for making you watch that movie.
I told her, we watched this movie at Dad's house, and I'm scared. And
oh,
and
wow.
then, so she yelled at him on the phone, and then she made me talk to him on the phone. And I remember him on the phone going you got me in trouble. And I'm like, I just watched this movie and I'm scared. Hey, I'm still scared of that movie to this day.
It's terrifying.
That's a scary movie.
That troll is weird.
Right,
he has
guys.
this little hat with bells on it, and he climbs up Drew Barrymore's bed and he pinches her nose and he goes and starts sucking her breath out. It's just I was 6 or 7 when I saw that, and I was like, what the heck? There's trolls on my wall. I still have 3 cats to this day, so I don't have to have a troll suck my breath out when I'm sleeping.
Dave says Jaws is a classic thriller, and we got Retropocalypse. Jaws for life, son.
Yeah, at Forgotten Cinema, we're always like, people's opinions on movies are subjective. Everybody's opinion counts.
That's right.
But I'm going to go on record as saying, I'll speak for both myself and Mike Field, my co-host of Forgotten Cinema, when I say that might be the first most incorrect take on a film that I have ever heard in my life.
It's certainly it's definitely different pace because again, it was made so long ago. So maybe what we're used to with horror films, thrillers, and stuff now. Going back,
maybe that's not a horror, maybe a thriller. Mike, have you seen Cat's Eye?
I have not seen Cat's Eye, but
oh god, please watch it for
somebody a few months ago was telling me about how much I had to watch this film, and I think I was just watching the Ted series on Peacock. I think that might be the movie that their cousin plays for Ted and Johnny to scare them, and they don't think it's going to be scary on Halloween in an episode of the show, and they play it and they're both scared. Scares the crap out of them.
So it's kind of like a 2-part movie. I don't find the first part very scary, but when it goes into the second story, I'm like, this troll, man. This troll had me wrecked for years.
Jeez.
Rex, thank you.
Yes,
Retro reminiscence in the house.
Yeah, if you guys want to subscribe to Mike's stuff, it's Forgotten Cinema. They have their podcast on anywhere you can listen to podcasts.
Anywhere on podcasts. It's also on YouTube. Our first batch of episodes up until the recent horror season are all just audio, but when we come back May 1st and when we do our recent film reviews and stuff as well, we're going to be all video. So right now it's all audio, but over 200 episodes. And those, if you guys were on earlier, you saw Russ and me do that commercial. We have well over 100 commercials as well that we did for these movies.
Yeah, it's one. What are you showing? Why
someone mentioned Raid on Bungling Bay, so I figured I'd show it.
He's like, I can pull that card out.
That's right. I got you, dog.
Sweet. Yeah. So be sure to check him out. We appreciate you having on, Mike.
The problem.
What else we got? I guess we'll wrap up this episode. We're going to be recording the Warp Pipe Wednesday directly after this, but we're letting Mike head off so he can get to bed.
Live for that too.
What's that?
We're gonna be live by Wednesday.
Yeah. We'll just save live on the why not? People are here. So be sure to check out the weeklywarpipe.com. And I want to give a special shout out to our top Patreon supporters: Dan and Nicole's Treasures Untold, Joe Sheevy, Trace Livingood, Samantha Chang, Rodney Torres, Retroholic 16, and Austin Mills. Again, if you want to show any support for the show, head over to patreon.com/Russ Lyman. Helps us out. And be sure to check out bullairs.com with their awesome stock of custom shoes and clothes. Thanks again, Mike, for being on. Maybe we'll have more guests in the future if you guys enjoyed this. It could be, once in a while we'll throw some on rather than just be me and Jay chatting it up.
Yeah, thanks for educating me on some movies. I'm clearly not the biggest movie buff.
If you want to find out some fun facts, just subscribe to Forgotten Cinema podcast.
There we go.
Perfect.
Plug.
All right, guys. As always, I'm Russ Lyman. Keep your world fun bit by bit. All right. I don't know if anyone knows we're still going to be recording. We got about a half hour for midnight.
This is the little mid tier. I don't know what I'm trying to say. This is midway between.
We'll see how this goes. I don't know.
Let's do it.
So we're doing our Warp Pipe Wednesday episode now. If you guys want to hang out,
hit that intro.
If not, whatever.
Warp Pipe Wednesday.
Oh, what's up, Jay? How's it going?
Well, I felt like I was going to die about 3 hours ago, so luckily that didn't happen.
Funny enough,
clearly you felt like you were about to die yesterday because
yes.
I was sitting here playing my Sega Mini, and I'm like, it's 10:15, and then I'm like, I find myself like doing this, and then so finally I text Russ, and I'm like, dude, are we doing this, or are you just dead? So Russ, feel free to fill him in on what was happening with you yesterday.
Right, we were supposed to go live on our podcast Wednesday, and Tuesday night I just got deathly sick. I was in the bathroom all through the night, barely got any sleep. Luckily my wife was able to work from home, so she helped me watch Gwen, and I was pretty much out of commission most
people
of
were
the day.
Descriptive, Russ. What was happening?
I don't want to get too descriptive about
I need color, size, shape, sounds.
Yeah, I was definitely feeling under the weather, and I haven't been that sick in probably like 10 years. I can't even remember like the last time I threw up. So I was like, oh my God. I was like, geez. So I was not able to do the podcast. So I was like, let me just sleep. I went to bed at like 8, called out of work today. And then luckily we were able to get on to record tonight. And we're doing the live format. I don't know if we're going to do live every week, once a month. Some people are saying maybe once a month on here. I don't know. I thought it'd be a fun way maybe to interact with you guys. Although I don't know if it's going to bring our views down then on the post-it content when we post on Saturday and Wednesday for the edited episodes. Because then why would you come back to watch the same episode you watched live? I don't know.
Because these people are dedicated fans, Russ, and they want to hear everything we have to say twice.
So we do have some people still in the chat watching. We got 10 people live hanging out here. So this is our Wednesday episode. We always record back to back. We kind of went reverse this week, but
that's right. We'll do it live.
We did have our buddy Mike on from Forgotten Cinema, and we were talking about forgotten movies, and he said, Russ, forgot to mention, I'm shocked you didn't mention Double Dragon, the movie. You think that one's a forgotten one?
Yeah, I actually
Video
do
game
think that's
movies.
forgotten.
I think it could have been better. It was, but again, that was early video game movie time, so I guess it was the best we could get at that time.
I feel like one of the actors who played in Double Dragon was like on some like teen TV show.
Well, I think that's what it was. It was like the two people that they booked were so opposite, where it was like one was like a teen boppy kid and the other one was like a martial artist. So like one knew more karate than the other, so he did more of the stunts and stuff. So it didn't really balance well.
It was like Single Dragon.
Single Dragon.
Retro Reminiscence. You see what he's saying here?
No, what are you saying? Where is he? Y'all should do a live viewer Q&A. I mean, feel free to ask any questions. You guys are here and we can answer them for sure.
Oh, the dude was from Party of Five. Look at
So
Sean with the knowledge.
Perfect. I'm getting hot in my jacket here. I think I stripped down a bit.
Ooh, after hours. This is Russ's OnlyFans.
Let's loosen up here.
Taking off the jacket.
Oh, so I've been an update from last week. If you guys were watching that episode, I printed a ton of NES overlays that I'm going to be starting to sell. So I got a couple of themed ones. I'll grab them out of the showcase here. I'll have Jay chat with you, but I'll show them off to you guys.
Yeah, let's see them, Russ. So, all right, go ahead and ask a question, and I will try to answer it. Someone wrote, David wrote, also need to mention Cool as Ice. I don't remember that movie. But yeah, any questions you want to know, feel free to just ask away. And Russ is back. He's putting his headphones on, and bam, there he is.
So I was trying to think of cool ones to do. So I ended up doing, I got a, I went with a blue on this one here with Toxic Crusaders with Toxie on there. So I switched it up from the black and white one. And then I thought with, I don't know, Deadpool coming out, I made this cool Deadpool one.
Cool Deadpool.
So I thought maybe some people might like that. Then I know Jay's going to like this one here.
This is the one I specific. Wait, what is this? Oh, dude. Yeah, that's all me. Batman. Love it.
So I did that one. Batman came out sweet. Some of these I just had. I don't know if people would want one of these, but we did Kung Fu.
Ooh, I like that one too. Did you make a weekly warp pipe one, Russ?
Oh, I did not yet. No, I did. So I'm going to be making.
What a failure!
A whole bunch. We got a Contra.
Oh, I like that scene. I like that dude.
Thought that was pretty neat with the boss battle there.
Wonder what his name is. Ted, maybe? I don't know.
Double Dragon 2. Was there any other ones there that I made? Nope. The Zeldas, Castlevania, and the Friday the 13th. So and I think I showed you the other Contra one was that scene, just like the opening.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. I like all that green. That's cool.
Yeah. So basically I'm going to try to I either post these on Instagram or something like that and see if people want to purchase some that way. I had one person message me. He did want the let's see, not have him in here. I did Ninja Turtles too for him. So I don't have that in this stack here, but he wanted those and he was like, perfect. So I was like, okay, I'll send them off to you.
There you go. Russ, Retropocalypse wants to know, what's your favorite horror game?
I was like, I don't even see that. It probably has to be Resident Evil 2, I would say. The remakes are really good. 2, I feel like, is still, it's not as arcadey, I guess, like, whereas, it's kind of hard to explain here. Where 1 is like very slow paced, right? 2's kind of amping up that. And I like the little more fast pace with that, with the zombie killing and all that, rather than 1, everything works as a good horror game where you're kind of creeping around this mansion slowly, right? And trying to figure stuff out. But I think 2, I like that more fast paced action adventure.
Does BioShock count as a horror game? Or is that borderline?
Yeah. They're coming out with a series on Netflix.
Oh, nice. Because I'm going to throw BioShock as one of the more and this is still like 20 years old, but like a current or gen, since I mostly just play Nintendo. If you're going on NES, let's say Friday the 13th. No. Nightmare on Elm Street. Sorry. Getting confused.
Crossing paths.
That's right.
Aldo wants to get some Algo covers for the future, so I'll have to do some custom ones for that as well. Yeah, I said we're going to be doing the Warp Pipe ones soon as well. We could do like a giveaway for some of those as well. I went through Resident Evil 2 on PS1 and 4. I'm on Nemesis now. Nice. Yeah.
Ooh, retro reminiscence with a tough question.
Favorite NES game level. That's how do you even break that down?
That's
game
crazy
level.
hard. Oh man. Let me think about that one.
Because then you gotta break down like the game and then what level within that game. NES, favorite NES game level. It would have to be something fun, right? And not difficult.
Yeah. Castlevania crossed my mind. Batman's crossed my mind. Contra and Super C crossed my mind. Bionic Commando crossed my mind. I don't know. That's such a hard question.
Yeah, to get right off the gate like that.
Yeah, I don't know if I can come up with that off the top of my head.
Aldo's chiming in with horror games. Condemned? Criminal Origins is a fantastic horror game from the Xbox 360, PS3 era. I can't say I played that one before.
Me either. None of those.
I did want to play. It's funny enough. I bought it back in the day from a Metal Jesus Hidden Gems video.
Metal Jesus.
And it was, what the heck was the name of the game? I'm gonna have to look it up now. It's a game based in like Antarctica, and there's like a virus or something going on, and it's kind of like a Resident Evil-ish thing, and it's on PS2, I believe. I'm looking at my game library here. Let's see if I could get the name on it here. PS3. 2.
I'm still trying to think about my favorite NES game level. This is the hardest question I've ever been asked in my life. Even harder than what will you name your child?
It's this game here, Extermination.
That's an interesting cover because it's like something's off screen.
Right. So who knows? Oh, what do we got? Galdo says Contra Snowfield for me.
Cold Fear, I think it's called.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun one. It's good soundtrack on that one too.
I don't know Cold Fear.
The only thing that can stand out for me, I would almost say, I don't know, I'm leaning towards Super Mario Brothers 3.
That's too easy.
But I feel like everyone would say that, right?
Yeah.
We all know.
Okay, Retro Reminiscence coming in with all the hard questions. We all know Donnie is the go-to on TMNT for the NES, but who do you use if I'm assuming he meant dies or gets captured? I'm gonna have to say next longest weapon, Leonardo.
Yeah, I would say no one's using Raphael with the
Raphael. I mean, I know his Sai is supposed to be strong, but he just sucks. Let's just be real.
Like he couldn't do this. He had to like spin them. Like,
let me just spin these thighs between my fingers, guys.
Maybe you just save Raph for the bosses then, if he's supposed to be the strongest, right?
Sucks. He blows. One thing he's got going for him is he's got the coolest hair bandana color.
That's true.
Yeah, if you lose Donnie, you might as well reset. You're not wrong.
I still got to beat that game that's added to the list.
Dude, you got to do that.
I got to start making a list. I was thinking, here's maybe
the
top 10 NES games to beat this year.
So what's funny about what you're saying is I talk to Retro Reminiscence daily on Signal, and the next video I'm going to come out with is top 10 NES games I got to finish. So look for that.
Do that, and I'll go old school and do a video response.
Do it. Let's go. All right, you heard it here first. It's happening.
So we'll put that together. That'll be fun.
Hey, you know what, Russ? I'm going to be like the Donald Trump of YouTube, and I'm going to make YouTube great again. We're gonna bring back YouTube and make it like the way it used to
the
be.
old school days.
Not all these people that are buying hundreds of games because they're so rich. We're gonna dumb down all our videos and make it look like we're taping it with a camera from a phone back in 1999.
Well, I use my laptop for early video, so it's just using the MacBook camera, and I literally have to put my laptop like on like books or something because you couldn't put it on a tripod to get like a higher shot.
Yeah, I used this. I had a Sony camera that I used. I think early on, I don't know what I used. I might have used a webcam from my wife's MacBook.
Gotcha.
One underrated NES game, actually underrated. I mean, I got to go with one of the games we recently talked about. I think Jaws is underrated.
Yeah, that's a good pick for sure. Trying to think one that no one would ever mention.
Yeah, I know that's the hard thing is coming up with something original, right? Like Jaws is like the easy thing to say.
Right. I'm trying to think of like ones I played growing up, but no one talked about that were underrated.
There's a cat game. What is the name of that cat game? I actually like it. Puss in Boots. No, Puss in Boots. I think Puss in Boots is slightly underrated.
Okay. Yeah, I never played that one.
I can get all the way to the last boss, and I can't beat the last boss.
Got to work at it.
I know. I suck. I got to get good.
Shattered Hand or Vice Project Doom?
I'm going with Vice Project Doom. I've put a lot more time into that.
I honestly confuse them because they are
Shattered Hand's the
similar.
dude that like he like grabs the chain link fence and he like punches and he has like this little bot.
Right.
And then Vice Project Doom, he has like a laser whip. And he kind of runs like Ninja Gaiden a little bit.
Which is the one where you build up? Don't you get like a mech armor or like a boomerang that shoots better?
Power Blade?
Oh, maybe that's Power Blade. There's yep. So those three games I feel like very similar.
They are all kind of similar.
I would say I like Vice Project Doom because don't they have the driving sections too? So it switches it up a little bit.
Yep.
And I thought that
it actually starts
cool.
with the driving, which I think is a strange choice because as soon as you start playing the game, you might be like, oh, really? This is what I bought, a driving game? I guess maybe they had screenshots on the back, so maybe you knew it would be more than that. But there's that, and then there's like the side scrolling, and then there's like a shooting section. That's kind of rad.
Yes, that kind of yeah. So that breaks up the gameplay.
Yeah.
So I guess Aldo's chiming in with the underrated games for NES. We got Jaws, Bad Dudes, Blaster Master, and Carnov for me, he says.
Are you a bad enough dude to save the president?
I
want to like Guardian Legend,
but
I can't get into it. Same for Blaster Master. I can never. Every time I try to play it, I can't get into it.
Yeah, I said I'd love to beat Blaster Master, but it's just so darn difficult. I beat the remake Blaster Master 0, which was fantastic, and Carnov. I wish I could get further in the game. I never got very far in it.
I suck at Carnov too. Same thing for Rygar. Every time I try to play Rygar, I get like a couple frames in, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to finish this. But I hear it's really good.
Flying Warriors, man. I'm telling you. I remember the cover.
What does that game run, Sean? Like price wise?
It's underrated. Again, that's what it's is that a shooter flying game, kind of like Guardian's Legend, right? Guardian Legends is a flying shooter.
Whenever I think of Flying Warriors, I always imagine it's gonna be like Ninja Crusaders. Do you remember that game?
Ninja vaguely. Okay, I played this one. Yeah, before. This is kind of like I guess a side scroller. Share screen here if you guys are watching.
Let's see it. Flying Warriors. It looks cool.
I think you can like
see. Now I want this. I like that screen. Oh, dude, he looks sick. Look how fast he punches. He's like the real Shatterhand.
Pretty large sprites.
Yeah. Oh, look at that demon. But the shiny demon in the middle of the road.
So I remember this. This is very odd with punching. Like he lights up on his head, and you have to like kick there, and where he lights up on you, you have to block there.
That's interesting. Oh,
So
look,
it's
he's like,
oh look, and there's like a
finish him, and he
the
zapped
freaking
him.
wrestling ring area. Flying Warriors, guys. NES.
This
Don't
whoa, what's he doing? Whoa, what is happening?
Don't sleep on this.
What just happened? Clash of Demon Head, another game I've tried to play, and I just can't seem to get into it.
Could be
I think
on your list.
when I'm old in the retirement home, that's when I'll finish Clash of Demon Head, right after Breath of the Wild.
Cutting grass. I dig it.
No, they'll be cutting grass for me.
You're cutting grass in the game, I mean.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, you're
right. Anything new going on, Jay? Or
well, let's see. No, my life is boring. Last week we said our lives were exciting. Now I'm taking it back. Boring life. Nothing's going on. I went on a cool bike ride last week.
Oh, okay.
There's this park not too far from where we live, and it has this nice nature trail. And there's these like little dirt road parts that they don't want you to ride your bike on, I guess, because you'll like just damage tree roots.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to be honest and say I went through a couple of them anyway, even though I was requested not to. And it was so fun. And there was this like big gravel pit that I was riding down and about slipped out. So I think that maybe some mild or intermediate mountain biking is in the future for me. So
okay.
Oh, and I saw 187 pounds on the scale the other day. So slowly but surely, my diet's not going great, but it's going well enough. So I got some work to do.
I did order a pull-up bar that attaches to my door frame.
There you go.
So I got that.
Now, do you do overhand or underhand or both?
Well, it has. You can do and then it has the ones that are kind of here. So I had done that one. But I was like,
is it the one that like locks onto your like your frame? That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that too somewhere. Come on, Jay. Air Fortress. It's pretty fun. Wait, what about Air Fortress? I didn't poo-poo that. Yep, I have that exact same bar. Did Jay ride his bike like in Punch Out though? I did not ride the Statue of Liberty, but I probably should have.
Got to put the hype music in on your headphones.
I need a pink tracksuit as well. and I need Carl Winslow to chase me.
Classic.
Because that's who Doc looks like, or whatever his name is.
He does, yeah. A little throwback to Family Matters. Don't forget to do your push-ups. Oh yeah, you got to do your push-ups daily.
I was gonna go to the gym the night before this, but like I had this weird thing where I felt like I was gonna pass out, and my wife was like, "Maybe your sugar's low." She went and got me a popsicle, and I ate that and started to feel a bit better.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I think I might end up just trying to do Ring Fit Adventure once again on the Switch, just because I like that it's formatted. Like I had bought some like bands, like resistant bands, but then I'm like, I have to look up how to use them and how many reps and
Oh, come on. I can teach you all that. That's easy.
And I'm like, Ring Fit. I'm just
Ring Fit. Has anybody ever got fit on Ring Fit? I don't think so, Russ. I'm calling shenanigans on Ring Fit. You're going to look the exact same as you did 6 months from now.
So we'll see.
I'm being harsh. I love you.
We'll see how it goes. Summer's just around the corner. So
that's right. You better Ring Fit fast then. Is it pretty? I wonder what the resistance on a Ring Fit is. Like the pressure per square inch.
I mean, some because you can push it in, but they also have you like pull it too.
Push it, pull it, pop it.
Imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Ring Fit, but I would also do some other stuff like push-ups, sit-ups, planks.
Right.
And
intermittent
fasting.
Possibly.
And your pull-ups, overhand and underhand.
Right. Well, that's why I bought the bar, so I can add that as well.
Do you have any free weights at all, Russ?
No, not here. No, I think my mom might have some at her house she was using that she no longer uses. So I was like, maybe I can grab those.
Imagine Russ with a Ring Fit 8-pack. Dude, if he gets an 8-pack with a Ring Fit, I'll be the first one to the store. Can I give me a Ring Fit, please?
Dude, I couldn't get it when it came out. That thing flew off I had my friend George from New Mexico.
Jorge?
Yeah. Buy them and ship it out to me.
Wait, you had to have somebody from Mexico or New Mexico?
New Mexico.
Okay, so we're still in the States. Okay.
And then it was like, literally, it was like 3 weeks later, they had it at my Target. But I was like, Jesus. So Jay said what he did this week. What about Russ? What you doing?
Let's find out.
We did, not too much public knowledge, but we did put an offer in on a house.
What? Wait, why didn't you tell me this? I'm just now finding out. I feel kind of mad. Just kidding. I don't feel mad.
I had to sign some paperwork today. There's still another showing Saturday, and there's a couple offers in. So whether they choose our offer or not, it's unclear. But we went to go see it on Tuesday night.
Write him a letter. Has the realtor asked you to write him a letter yet?
I said, send a picture with the baby.
Yeah, exactly. Tell them you're like a new family. You need a place to be. Like that kind of stuff pulls on people's heartstrings because you know what people really want when they sell their house, Russ? They want to know a nice family is going to live there, take care of the place, and hopefully live there for a long time. And I think you fit the bill.
Yeah. So fingers crossed. We kind of did it sporadically. Like it was just like, hey, this came up. It kind of has all our needs. There's 4 bedrooms, a large downstairs, bathroom upstairs and downstairs, huge plot of land. It's like,
God, I hope you get this.
Great outdoor seating, like a little fire pit area, screened in porch, 2-car garage. And
tell them, ask the people in your letter that I'm begging you to write. This is a good idea, Russ. Say, how would you like to see bits and locations of your house periodically on YouTube?
That's true.
Because all that can be done if you let me buy it.
Right.
See?
So we'll see.
There's heartstrings.
My first gripe was when I went down the driveway, not paved, dirt. And you know how like you drive down a driveway and you wear down where your tires are. So the middle's like this. And I'm like, my car is going to freaking bottom out the whole time I'm driving on.
Get a Tacoma. This is the perfect time to get a Tacoma and be like me, Russ. Tacoma Brothers.
So I'm like I'm going to have to park the M card in the street.
You're going to have to mod it and get some bigger tires on it, some 33s, get it raised.
I'll get the air ride. Psh, psh. So we'll see.
It'll be like the hijacker, that RC car we talked about.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Yeah, it kind of just happened pretty quick. So I don't know how long we'll have to wait to hear. But if something does happen, then yeah, we got a ton of content coming your way.
Text me.
Everything.
I need to know. That's awesome, dude. Congrats. Fingers crossed that these people want Russ. I would ask your realtor, do you think a letter and a picture would help?
Okay.
I'm dead serious. Bring it up.
Let's see if that works. We'll wrap it up here.
Said, let you have this house.
Give me the house. See, it's almost midnight, so I'll try to wrap it up so I could get to bed before midnight because I got work at 6 hours.
Fair enough. I'll shut up.
But hey, we appreciate everyone hanging out on the live stream here. Again, I don't know if we're going to live stream once a month, every week. I don't know what the best is. It was cool having everyone hang out here. Maybe we can just live stream the Warp Pipe Wednesday or something. I don't know. We're trying some new things, and we're going to have maybe some guests on in the future. So that could be pretty cool. Quick shout out to our Patreons. We got Dan and Nicole's Treasures Untold, Joe Sheevy, Trace Livingood, Samantha Chang, Rodney Torres, Retroholic 16, and Austin Mills. If you want to throw some support our way, head over to patreon.com/Russ Lyman. And you could check out the weekly warpipe.com for all your merch and fun needs. And yeah, it'd be a good time. And be sure to check out episodes every Saturday and Wednesday as scheduled. And that's about it.
Keep your world fun bit by bit.
Keep your world fun bit by bit. Good night, everyone. Sweet. All right. I think it went well. I'll have to edit these up tomorrow for a Saturday release.
Good times.
Do some thumbnails and we'll be
great
ready
taste.
to rock.
McDonald's.
I'm loving it.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. All right. Russ, have a great night. Let me get you out of here.
Sounds good.
Later, people.